Thank you. Good afternoon again. My name is Jocelyn Frye. I'm the president of the National Partnership for Women and Families. Thank you. And on behalf of our entire organization, I am really just so thrilled and delighted to welcome all of you as we come together to celebrate the official launch of the Judith L. Lichtman Legacy Fund. We also are going to pay tribute to its namesake, the remarkable Judy Lichtman. I want to start with a few thank yous. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here today. Many of you have traveled from out of town. I think we may even have a couple of people who traveled from out of the country, and we don't take that for granted. We're so grateful for your presence. I want to specially recognize our good friends at Google who are sponsoring this luncheon. Thank you so much. And thank you for your willingness to be part of the celebration. I also want to thank our amazing staff at the National Partnership. They worked really hard to make this event possible. They make it all look really easy, but I know it isn't easy. Planning these events takes so much work, and I hope they know how much that work is really appreciated. We also want to thank our friends here at the Omni, including most especially the servers and the staff who and everybody who's participating, particularly in the meal service today. Thank you for helping to make this day truly special. We have a really wonderful program planned for you, and in a few moments, we'll hear from our very special guest speaker, Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton. And she's going to share, I think, wonderful reflections that really will ground our purpose for gathering today. I'll also have the pleasure of sharing a few more tidbits and details about the Lichtman Legacy Fund. And we're going to wrap up our program by hearing from Judy herself, because even if I said no, it's not like I can stop her, and and she always has good things to say. But we're going to kick things off with a special video that we put together to honor Judy's 50th anniversary as a member of the staff of the National Partnership, and we marked this at our annual event in June. And so some of you have seen the video, but it really paints, I think, a wonderful picture of her extraordinary journey and legacy at the National Partnership, and the work that she's done over 5 decades. And if you ever wanted to trace all the different hairstyles, pay close attention. So please turn your attention to the screen and let's play our tribute. The National Partnership for Women and Families is proud to celebrate the extraordinary legacy of Judy Lichtman as she marks her 50th anniversary with our organization. During the past 5 decades, Judy has played an indispensable role in shaping the history of the National Partnership. As a young woman, Judy knew she wanted to devote her energy and her talents toward expanding equality and opportunity for people living on the margins. She began her career as a federal civil rights attorney and staffer on the United States Commission on Civil Rights. Judy's work caught the attention of a group of volunteers who wanted to establish a new organization focused on women. And in 1974, she became the first paid staffer at the Women's Legal Defense Fund, the organization that would eventually become the National Partnership for Women and Families.
When I met Judy, it was clear that this was a person who was devoted to using her talents to create a world of equity. She had vision and a keen strategic mind, but she had no history of working within the movement for women's rights. So it was a leap of faith for the fund to hire her. But it was also clear, even from that first interview, that she had the capability to move us forward.
1974 was an exciting time. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was only 10 years old. Congress had passed Title IX, and the Supreme Court decided Roe v. Wade just 1 year before Judy joined our organization. As executive director and president of the Women's Legal Defense Fund, Judy grew the organization so we could help capitalize on this momentum.
Judy is so well respected and so likable that she became an incredible force for the agenda for women on Capitol Hill and even in the White House. People listened to her. They wanted to know what she had to say. And as she shaped the organization into an advocacy organization, she was able to build the relationships that can move our issues forward.
Judy was a catalyst in passing a series of milestone laws. They include the Pregnancy Discrimination Act of 1978, the Civil Rights Act of 1991, and the Family and Medical Leave Act of 1993, known as the FMLA. In fact, Judy was such a driving force behind the FMLA that folks in Congress referred to the bill as the Judy Lichtman Act. It was the first piece of legislation signed by President Bill Clinton, and he would later refer to Judy as a remarkable national treasure.
There is no better example of the kind of change the American people sought when they voted in November than the swift and historic signing of this legislation.
Judy was and is a fabulous leader of coalitions in passing landmark legislation. You also have to figure out if you're going to be really a success the way Judy has been. She and her colleagues at the partnership excelled at bringing together and holding together a huge, diverse coalition of organizations, individuals, getting public attention over the time it took to get that into law.
In 1998, when the Women's Legal Defense Fund was renamed the National Partnership for Women and Families, Judy continued to serve as president. Judy led our organization until 2004, when she transitioned to the role of senior advisor. Since then, she has continued to lend her invaluable counsel to the National Partnership.
Her guidance, her calm demeanor in the face of crisis, and her deep understanding of coalition politics have been indispensable to the success of this important institution, even before she became chair. Every modern president of the Leadership Conference has benefited from Judy's wisdom and generosity of spirit.
In 2023, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris hosted a gathering at the White House to mark the 30th anniversary of the FMLA, and during that event, Judy received a standing ovation.
If you ever feel drifting, just ask Judy Lichtman what you should do. She'll tell you.
Judy Lichtman has left an indelible imprint upon the lives of millions of women. She is a true trailblazer, groundbreaker, and changemaker. We are so grateful for everything she has helped accomplish, and we are delighted to commemorate her golden anniversary with the National Partnership for Women and Families.